One more question about music, and then let's move on. Let's talk writing. And for God's sake, let's talk Stormrise. But I wanted to ask: did all of that training, that having to get up in mandatory creativity every day for music, did that help prepare you for life as a writer later?
It probably did. The diligence part and the commitment part. Because you know how it is when you're first starting out as a writer, it can be overwhelming, and getting through that first novel is a huge accomplishment because it's hard, you know? And even though you're probably going to pitch it out because it's going to be really terrible, it's just that discipline of writing no matter what your schedule looks like every day, every other day, whatever. And with music, it's the same, especially when I was preparing for one of my piano recitals. It was not unusual for me to practice 5 or 6 hours in a day on top of my schoolwork and classes. So that takes a lot of discipline and very little social life. So I lived that and I loved it. And that was my peak of, I love being a musician and doing this. And obviously couldn't maintain that because that's ultimately not, I think, what I was supposed to be doing. But yeah, not that I ever made that conscious connection, but I think you're absolutely right. No matter what art you are pursuing, there's a part of it that's just sit down and do it. For the piano, you've got to start out with your scales and your arpeggios every day. You've got to warm it up, get the technique going, ooch that metronome marking up higher. So you're going a little bit faster, getting your, that's not fun. That's boring. It's boring, but you have to start your day that way. And you know how it is with writing too. Sometimes you sit down and it's not notes, it's words, and you have to get them out. You just have to get them out. So
each moment is bliss. There's never a frustration.
No frustration. It's nirvana every single day.
Well, regular esteemed audience members know that's not true. So tell me about the transition then when you became a stay-at-home mom, which good for you. I have more respect for stay-at-home parents since becoming one than ever before. Like, this is an absolute job that's way harder than when I had 2 or 3 jobs at a time.
And nobody's paying me, right?
So how when did writing rear its wonderful head again?
Well, I have 5 kids, and when 4 of them were around, there was a website. This was in the mid to late 90s. There was a website called themestream.com. And it was a pay-per-click website for writers to write articles in whatever topic you chose to write on, and you literally got paid a dime a click for reading. People who read. They were just short, basic articles, maybe 200 to 500 words in length, no big deal. And I paid for Christmas that year with the money I made. And you don't usually hear stories like that, like, wow, you really made enough money writing online for Christmas?
Well, are we talking like a good Christmas, or everybody got socks and a bow?
I'm talking a full stocking, presents under the tree Christmas. And it was, I felt great, because as a stay-at-home mom, who used to work before, sometimes you feel like, wow, I'm not giving to this pot of money that we need to live on. So that felt really good to be able to do that. And I started to kind of grease my writing wheel, I think, doing that. The bad thing is that they had a really bad business model and they went defunct. But before they did, they dropped the pay-per-click rate to 2 cents. So that's a huge difference. And at the very end, when they folded, all the authors they still owed money to were not paid. So it was a really bad, messy thing. But for a short time, it was a magical, wonderful thing that was actually making money for me. But I think the real thing that that did in my life was it got me writing again.